And now, back to our show. Yeah, man, I have fun doing these sometimes. I tell you, my friends. Anyway, if you're looking at in chapter 4, we're at verse 30. And Aaron speaks the words which the Lord has spoken to Moses, and he performs the signs in the sight of the people, and the people believed. And when they heard the Lord was concerned about the sons of Israel, and he had seen their affliction, they bowed down low and worshipped. Afterwards Moses and Aaron came and said to the Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Let my people go, that they may celebrate a feast with me, a feast to me in the wilderness. I note it doesn't identify which feast. And Pharaoh said, Who is this Lord that I should obey his people to let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and besides, I will not let Israel go. Now Moses shows up, and the first little part, Aaron does his spiel, right? Don't forget, you gotta go back to chapter 4 and the earlier part, and Moses is doing they ain't gonna listen to me, they ain't gonna accept me, alright? And Aaron goes in and does the razzle dazzle, and the people start to believe, and they understand that, wow, these two dudes were dispatched from our homeland with message, and they've proved that they came from our God, and that hey, pack up your baggage, he's come to set us free, right? So with this good message, I was going, woohoo, we get to go home. And they came to believe, and they bowed down and they worshipped. So everything's going to be all over. We're going to pack up bag of baggage, and we're going to get to go home. Wrong. Sometimes before we see good things happen, before we see the breakthrough, even at the end of days, which we're entering into now, it says that perilous times will come. Troubled times will come. So look for hardship. Don't look for the good things. So things are going to get tougher as we go along. And this is one of the messages that, this message, Contest with Pharaoh, is all about. We got to hang in there, because things are about to get remarkably worse. And because they're going to get markedly worse, each step, each point, each privilege, I want you to write these things down, all right? I hope that you go through every one of the contests with Pharaoh, and I hope that you're taking notes, because each step of the way, each thing I say, I want you to review it. At the end of this video, even the little blurps, all right, that may come out from time to time, all right, with explanation things. It's kind of like going to your concordance and trying to understand things a little bit different, okay? Or get to a better appreciation of what the scriptures are trying to tell you. So they go knocking on Pharaoh's door now, and the people are all ready to go. But I want you to look closely at what they say to Pharaoh, because God told Moses before he gets there, don't look to pack up bag and baggage, because it's not going to happen, not right away. So it was no surprise to them. Now I've heard a lot of Christian pastors talk about this, and they act like it was some kind of big surprise. So yeah, we're going to go, we're going to get the people, we're going to pack it up, yeah, we're going to go back to Israel, and get there, and so Pharaoh says, you know what, I put speed to you and to your people, and I don't know your God. What are you going to do? Bring it. I'm the Pharaoh. I'm God in my own eyes. I'm God in my nation. I'm God to these little bitty people. I'm God in my own right. All right. Who's this God that I should bow before him? He should be coming here to bow for me. I'm God. I made myself God. And these people have made me God. And all of Egypt believes that I'm a God. Arrogance. You hear the arrogance? This is the type of nature this man had. It's the same way with Satan. Satan stood before the throne of God, and he went, who are you? Who are you that I should bow down? I'm God in my own right. I'm a holy being. I was created in your image. I'm angelic. I got angels beneath me. They bow down and they worship me. Maybe I'm a god. Maybe I'm going to sit on your throne. Maybe I'm going to rule things. Huh? What do you think about that? Huh? Well, he found out there was war in the heavens, and Michael contended against Satan, and he was cast out. Boom. Next up. And the war was on. Every time you decide that you can do better than what God can do, the war's on. You're going to step up to the man and go, bring it. Guess what? In the hood, it's people in Los Angeles will tell you what it's like. You go into the wrong neighborhood, in the wrong color of skin, it don't matter what side you're going on. You can be a white man walking in a black neighborhood, a black guy walking in a white neighborhood. All the segregation is not from God. I tell you that straight up. But you go in there and you say the wrong thing. I'm the man. You start walking, doing the strut. Guess what? It's time that we review things on this planet, because God's been screaming at you out there in never world for generations, and we got our fingers in our spiritual ears going la 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 la. These things always happen. We excuse it off. Who's this God? Who's this God that, we should worship him? And we're looking for something special and something great and something big, but we got this arrogant, unlearning, hard-hearted, I got all the answer type attitude. You got entire little groups splintering off all over the world with this attitude. We're going to go do our own little thing. Do you know that I would say I don't have the schematics, because there are a lot of new groups with new ideals that have been springing up, all right, and some of it has to do with worship and some of it has to do with doctrine, and I appreciate that. However, I would say good since probably late 30s, 40s, definitely from the 50s, anything you knew today isn't a new revelation. And I can prove that to you. You don't believe me, alright? I'm going to do the roots. You invite me out to your church. I'll do the roots to you, where you came from in your histories. I'll show your current statement of doctrine, and I'll compare it to your mama, the church that this one broke away from. It's doctrine, alright? And you won't see too much of a difference. What it was is an attitude. A strict attitude. I'm going to go off and I'm going to do my own self. We read about the prodigal son who had the same attitude. You know what? Just cash me out. I don't have to sit in this house. I don't have to listen to your rules. I don't have to do this. I'm a man now. I can go off and I can do it. Watch. I'm going to take half of the congregation and we're going to leave. It's done in rebellion. They weren't commissioned. The headship definitely didn't bless them. The only blessing they actually got, which they thought was like a conference on the head, was to get rid of these people because they'd only cause trouble in the church anyway. So if we get them out the door now, says Mama, then they won't disturb the real sheep, and we can continue feeding the hungry ones, and there'll be more grass for them. Let them go to the desert. Let them explore life. And sooner or later, it comes down to the level that they're eating from hog troughs, and we got hog troughs all over the place. I got several congregations right here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, that are eating from hog troughs, and I won't name names, but you know who you are, because you're not getting the truth. You're following a man who considers himself God, and he's setting himself above the throne of God, and he's speaking blasphemies. He's prophesied falsely. Come on, get out from amongst them. Repent, return to your God. Fall on your face and know that he is God.